Just wanted to have a quick chat about something for you guys that are building your own motors or engines, whatever you want to call it. Technically engine, I guess. But anyways, I just want to talk a little bit about bore sizing on connecting rods. So this is a set of stock 12 valve connecting rods. So somebody's put ARP bolts in, which is fine. But when the shop put the ARP bolts in, they opened this bore size up a little bit. And the bore size on these, I don't know the number off the top of my head. I got too many numbers float in my head. I'll give you a number and it'll be the wrong one. But I know that we just checked these today. And they honed them a little bit bigger because I don't know if they were out of round at that point or not. But right now they're round, but they're actually too big. So they're 5/10 of a thou, so half a thou over the max spec of what you're allowed to have bore size. And I wanted to show you guys. So half thou over over max spec, and it spun a bearing. Now it only did it on one cylinder, but everything else looked perfect. Even the oil wasn't crappy looking, other than it had metal floating in it, obviously. But I just wanted to mention to you guys, if you guys are doing this and you're not measuring stuff, you can have problems, just so you're aware. I hate to see a guy put an engine all together, assuming that everything is good, and then have something like that happen on an engine they just put together. This engine literally was just put together. It had like 150,000 kilometers, like 100 miles, and you got to do it all over again. So I just want you guys to be aware, these specs, lots of guys go, oh, well, the spec, you know, can be a little over, a little under, blah, blah, blah. Some specs you can do over, some you do not want to. This is one that you do not want to. So I just wanted to mention that. If you guys are doing it, if you're bringing it to a machine shop, tell them that you want it within spec. If you're using ARP hardware, whatever, if you put them in there and they're out of round and they don't have the equipment to cut the caps properly, you're better off to use a different connecting rod than to use these connecting rods over spec, because they tend to spin bearings because there isn't enough crush on the bearing. So like I said, I just wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about that, because that sucks. Like literally this engine had no miles on it, 100 miles, basically nothing. Spun a bearing and he got to do it over again, and it cost him a bunch more money. So I just don't want to see you guys in that predicament. So if you have any questions, comments, let me down. If you have any questions or comments, let me know down below. And remember, it's not rocket science.